Hi everyone. Today's topic is skills and roles of a manager. So this is apart from principle and practices of management. So before moving on to the topic, first of all we should understand who is a manager. A manager is a person responsible for planning and directing the work of a group of individuals, monitoring their work and taking corrective actions when necessary. So, manager is an individual or a person who is responsible for planning and directing the work of a group or individual. So the people who are working under the manager or the employees of the organization who are working under the organization, so, the manager's duty is to direct those employees or individuals who are working under them and monitoring their work, whether they are doing their work properly or not, or whether they are completing their task or not, and taking corrective actions when necessary. And whenever required, any kind of correction whenever is required, then the manager is required to take corrective actions. They may direct workers directly or by several supervisor. So the managers have the authority to direct the workers who is working under them or the employees of the organization. But in case of big organization, when where many sectors are present, where there are many employees are present in several sectors, so it is not possible for a particular manager to look over all the matters, to look or to supervise all the workers who are working in the organization. In that case, several supervisors are kept and the managers direct the supervisors what is need to be done. Then the supervisor direct the employees who are working under the supervisor. So in this way the whole task is done. They are in charge with examining workflow, coordinating efforts, meeting goals, and providing leadership. So the managers are in charge to examine the workflow, whether the flow of the work is going in a right way or not, whether there is any problem in the flow of work or not. Coordinating efforts, the managers need to coordinate with all the employees and meeting the goals, and meeting the goal of the organization is one of the very important role of a manager. And providing leadership to the employees, to all the people who are working under him or her to meet the goal of the organization. Next, roles of a manager. So over in this chart I have given the roles of the manager, that is the interpersonal role, informational role and decisional role. And under these I have particularly given this character so that it will become easy to understand. Under interpersonal skill comes the figurehead, leader, and liaison. Under informational role comes the monitor, disseminator, spokesperson, decisional, entrepreneur, disturbance, handler, resource, allocator, and negotiator. So I'll read out the interpersonal, informational, and decisional role over here. So in this PPT, I've just given the names. I'll read out the roles. If you want, you can just take small notes in your copies, because if you're not taking the notes, you might forget afterwards. So it's better if you keep small notes in your copy if you want. So under interpersonal role, comes interpersonal role helps the manager keep the organization running smoothly. That the figurehead role, leadership role, or the leader and the liaison role. Managers play the figurehead role when they perform duties that are ceremonial and symbolic in nature. This include greeting the visitors, attending social functions involving their subordinates like weddings, funerals, etc. Handing out merit certificates to workers, showing promises, etc. The leadership role includes hiring, training, motivating, and disciplining employees. Managers play the liaison role when they serve as a connecting link between their organization and others, or between their units and other organizational units. So I hope you understand this liaison also, because it's a unique term. So in the liaison role, basically what does it mean? In case of liaison role, the managers serve as a connecting link, as a connector between the organization and other, or between other units or other people or other organizational unit, right? So let's move on now to the informational part. So this Min's book mentioned that receiving and communicating information and perhaps the most important aspects of a manager's job. According to Min's book, in order to make the right decisions, managers need information, because without information, the managers cannot take the right decisions from various sources, right? Typically, this activity is done through reading magazines and talking with others to learn about changes in the customers' taste, competitors' moves, and competitors. So here is very important to talk with other people regarding customers' taste and competitors, because without doing this, the managers will not get the correct idea of these things regarding the taste, competitors. So it's very important to communicate sometime with outsiders also. So Mintzberg calls this the monitor role. In the disseminator role, the manager distributes important information to subordinates that would otherwise be inaccessible to them. So here, in case of disseminator role, the manager provides information to his subordinates or her subordinates, so that they always get access to those information. Without those information, they cannot work, right? Manager also perform the spokesperson role when they represent the organization to outsiders. When a conference is going on, or in case of a meeting, the manager many a times acts as a spokesperson. Now comes the decisional. In case of decisional, there are 4 decisional roles, that are the entrepreneur, disturbance handler, resource allocator, negotiator. In the role of entrepreneur, the manager tries to improve the unit. He initiates planned changes to adapt to environmental changes. As disturbance handler, manager respond to situation they are beyond their control. So many a time, many situation like strikes, shortages of materials, complaints, many problematic situation arises where the manager acts as the disturbance handler. In the role of a resource allocator, managers are responsible for allocating human, physical, and monetary resources. As negotiators, managers not only mediate in internal conflicts but also carry out negotiations with other units to gain advantages for their own unit. So negotiator means negotiating with other people or other organization, and in this case the manager acts as the negotiator. Next, Skills of an effective manager. So basically, what are the skills of an effective manager? An effective manager must possess certain skills in the areas of planning, organizing, leading, controlling, and decision making in order to process activities that are presented to him or her from time to time. So what are the skills? The skills are the technical skill, human skill, conceptual skill, design skill, and institution building skill. So what is technical skill? Technical skill, it is the ability to use the tools, procedures, or techniques of a specified field. So in case of technical skill, it is the ability, that is to use the tools or procedures or techniques of a specialized field. It is considered to be very crucial to the effectiveness of lower level managers. So for example, I can give the success of a drilling supervisor of an oil rig depends a great deal on his technical knowledge of drilling. So from this example, we can understand as the supervisor needs to see the drilling thing, he needs to have a very much well knowledge about this or technical skill regarding drilling. If he is not having technical skill on drilling, he cannot supervise the whole activity, right? So this is all about technical skill. Technical skill is considered to be very crucial to the effectiveness of lower level manager because they are in direct contact with employees performing work activities within the firm. Because the managers who are in charge to look over the work, whether the work is going on or not, and they are in direct contact with the employees, so they need to have a technical skill to look over those work activities within the firm, whether they are going in a proper way or not. Next come the human skill. It is the ability to work with and motivate other people. It is essential at every level, but most important at lower level. Because at lower levels, management where the supervisor has frequent contact with operating personnel, right? So lower level managers need to have a very good human skill as they require to to communicate, to work with the human. That is why lower level manager required a very good human skill. Not only the lower level lower level manager, as well as the upper level manager and other employers, upper level employers also. So human skill is one of the very important skill for a manager. Next come the conceptual skill. It is the ability to coordinate and integrate the organization's interests and activities. So it is the ability to coordinate and integrate, that is to sum up all the interests and activities of the organization. It increases as we rise in the ranks of management. So it increases with the level of the management, right? Means the more it is going upwards of the management, right, it increases. The higher the manager is in hierarchy, the more he or she will be involved in the broad long-term decision that affects large part of the organization. So the manager more means the higher the manager is in hierarchy, means the more the manager is in the higher place, the more he or she is responsible or involved in taking broad or long-term decisions for the organization, which affects the large part of the organization. Design skill, it is the ability to solve problems in ways that will help the organization. So there are many problems arises in the organization. So in case of design skill, the manager help the organization to solve those problems. So this is basically problem solving skill for the organization by the manager is known as the design skill. Institutional skill is basically a building skill for growth of the organization. It is mainly performed by the top level executives. The 8 key roles are as follows. First come the identity creating role. Top level executives must create an identity for their organization in the marketplace. Yes, because for creating a fame for your organization, for creating a place in the market, it is important to create an identity so that people or customer come to know about your organization. So creating an identity for your organization in the marketplace. Such an impact can be created by serving employees through excellent welfare measures, developing invaluable marketing skill, or fostering technical innovations. Enabling role. Top level executives must develop their resources. What are the resources? That are the main materials, equipment and other facilities in the service of an organization. A good work atmosphere must be created where employees would feel like contributing their base to the organization. So enabling role is actually creating the proper work environment for the employees so that they can work properly and they can contribute their 100% or the best for the organization, and thus utilizing all the resources and to develop all the resources for the service of the organization. For that, you need to make your employees happy so that they start giving their 100% for the organization. Synergizing role. Synergy means the whole is greater than the sum of the parts. In organizational terms, synergy means that as separate departments within an organization cooperate and interact, they become more productive than if each had acted in isolation. Actually, synergic rule states what that a whole is always greater than the summation of the parts. That means if an organization is having several sectors, they are divided, but when all the employees of all the sectors start coordinating and cooperating and start cooperate with all, and that will be much beneficial for the organization. Balancing role. The top executive must be able to strike a harmonious balance between conformity and creativity within the organization. Next, linkage building role. The chief executive must be able to develop appropriate linkage between the organization and outside constituencies such as government, financial institutions, community and society at large. Futuristic role. The chief executive must prepare the organization for future challenges. Creating an impact. This means making an impact of one's organization on other by way of superior technology, marketing skill, innovative abilities, etc. And last is the superordination. The chief executive must be able to create sense of pride and importance in the subordinates, making them feel that they are working in a very important field of work which is very useful for the society. So these are not so so you can just go through the names and whatever I have said you can just keep a note on them. So next, move on the next part of the slide. Functions of a manager. According to Stoner, manager work is characterized by managers work with and through other people. So we all know that manager work with internal subordinates, supervisor, peers, as well as external groups such as customer, clients, supplier, union representatives, etc. in order to achieve corporate goals. right? Managers or mediators, people working in an organization, do not always agree on certain things, say the establishment of goals and the means to achieve them. At corporate headquarters of large bank, managers may think about expanding into merchant banking, leasing, credit card business, whereas at the branch level, people may focus on expanding deposit by venturing deep into rural areas. Unless such differences are resolved quickly, employees find it difficult to think and act like a well-knit group. So in this case, to solve all this thing, to solve all these problems that are kind of misunderstanding or a kind of uh, two kind of decisions as are forming. So here in this case, the manager work as mediator to solve this problem. Manager often step in to put things in order, clear the paths to goal, clarify things to people, put out fires and meet goals. Managers are politicians. Manager must develop healthy relationships with various groups in order to achieve the goal smoothly. They have to nurture groups and join certain coalitions within a company. They often draw upon such relations to win support for their proposals and decisions. Managers or diplomats. Managers serve as official representatives of their work units at organizational meeting. They may represent the entire organization as well as a particular unit in dealing with external groups such as clients, customers, government officials, etc. Managers are symbols. This is the last one. Managers are symbols of corporate success or failure. They get applause when they get succeed and get depreciated and attacked when they fail. So both of the things are done or happen in case of the manager. In short, they represent corporate as well as employee aspiration. As they represent the corporation as well as the employee aspiration, that is why they are regarded as a symbol. They are shown the door when this aspiration do not materialize. Next, Henry Phil functions of a manager. It is one of the very important part in this skills. So skills and roles of a manager, this part is very important, that is planning, organizing, coordinating, controlling and commanding. So what is planning? Planning is the first process, or planning is the first thing that is done by the manager. Planning is the process of making decisions about future, deciding in advance what is to be done, when and where to be done, how is to be done and by whom. So it is the first thing that is being done before doing any project or doing any kind of work or deciding anything, that what is to be done, how to be done and by whom to be done. So it is a process of deciding how to be done, right? Planning provides direction to enterprise activities. It helps manager cope with change. It enables manager to measure progress towards the objective so that corrective action can be taken if progress is not satisfactory. Planning is a fundamental function of management, and all other functions of management are influenced by the planning process. Next comes the organizing. Organizing is concerned with arrangement of an organization's resources. What are the resources of an organization? People, material, technology and finance in order to achieve enterprise objective. And what is the objective of the enterprise? Is to achieve profit. All the organization have same objective, that is to earn a good sum of profit for the organization. It involves decision about the division of work, allocation of authority and responsibility, and coordination of tasks. The function increases in importance as firm grows. A structure is created to cope with problems created by growth. Thus, this formal structure, the various work activities are defined, classified, arranged, and coordinated. Staffing. Staffing is the function of employing suitable persons for the enterprise. So, It may be defined as an activity where people are recruited. So staffing can also be called as recruitment of employee or people in suitable area or in suitable sector of the firm, such as recruited, selected, trained, developed, motivated, and compensated for manning various positions. It includes not only the movement of individuals into an organization, but also their movement through promotion, job rotation, transfer, and termination and retirement of the organization. That is all these things, that is a promotion, job rotation, and transfer of any employees. All these things comes under the staffing, as well as termination and retirement of the employee as well. Directing. Function of guiding and supervising the activities of the subordinates is known as directing. This involves 4 important elements such as leadership, motivation, communication, and supervision. So the guiding thing and supervising activity, so this guiding and supervision comes under the directing or direction, right? So what is leadership? Leadership is the process of influencing the actions of a person or a group to attain desired objective. Motivation is a work of a manager performs to inspire, that is to motivate, encourage people to take required action. It is a process of to stimulate people to take desired courses of action. Communication is a transfer of information and understanding from one person to another, because in a firm, a communication is very important. Wherever a good communication will be there between the manager and the employees, good understanding will be there, thus a good outcome will be there, and that will be finally enhancing the profit of the organization. It is the process of stimulating people to take it is a way of reaching others with ideas, facts, and thoughts. Significantly, communication always involves 2 people, a sender and a receiver. Effective communication is important in organization because manager can accomplish very little without it. So communication is very important because without it the managers cannot accomplish the goal of the organization, as through communications only many kinds of ideas, facts, and thoughts come up, which will be very much beneficial for the organization. Next comes the supervision. This is the last one. In getting the work done, it is not enough for manager to tell the subordinates what they are required to do. They also have to watch and control the activities of the subordinates, whether the subordinates are also acting or doing their works properly or not. Supervision is seeing that subordinates doing their work and do it as directed, whether they are doing their work as directed or not. It involves overseeing employees at work. The last one is controlling, is to ensure that actions contribute to goal accomplishment. So controlling is basically to ensure that the actions that are contributed, whether the actions are contributed to accomplish the goal for the organizations or not. It includes 4 important elements such as setting standard of performance, because creating a standard for all the tasks that is going to be done by the employees. So a kind of standard is set for the performance, measuring actual performance, the task or the tasks that is being performed by the employees are going to be measured by the managers, comparing actual performance against the standard. So the standard thing that is already being set, the standard performance, that is a kind of comparison is going to made between the performed tasks that is being done by the employees and that that particular performance is going to be compared with the standard one, and taking corrective actions to ensure goal accomplishment. After all these things are done, then the corrective actions, whether there any kind of corrections is need to be done or not. After seeing all these things, it is need to ensure that the ensure goal for accomplishing goal for the organization. After all these things are done, the organization can get or can accomplish its goal. So with this, I'm ending the video. If you like the video, please like, share and subscribe, and thanks for watching.